Dalton's mayor and the village's board of trustees after multiple members did not attend tonight's monthly meeting.
I'm about to address some things as the supervisor. There will be no comments. There will be anything. It will be me addressing you guys, telling you what's.
The pressure is mounting on Tiffany Henyard, and this time, it's more than just whispers or rumors behind closed doors. In a shocking turn of events that feels pulled straight from a crime thriller, footage has resurfaced that may mark the end of the embattled mayor's tenure. The twist: this damning footage wasn't leaked by an outsider or a relentless journalist. It was reportedly released by her own team. Word on the street is that Henyard is losing her grip, spiraling into damage control as panic sets in. Is this the ultimate betrayal from within her inner circle, or karma finally catching up to her? Either way, it appears her days of claiming innocence may be running out. In another dramatic chapter, Dalton's controversial mayor was back at it, stirring up chaos as though it were a specialty. On what should have been an uneventful Tuesday evening, a board of trustees meeting was canceled due to a lack of attendance from trustees. Most leaders would have let it go, but not Henyard. Instead, she stormed ahead, unilaterally appointing a new village administrator and attorney, almost as if daring the board to oppose her. To underscore her defiance, Henyard brought along her lawyer, who wasted no time chastising the absent trustees for their no-show.
You got to give 10 days of notice. 10 days of notice to the public. Certainly notice to the mayor. You know what they did? They didn't give you any notice.
Tiffany Henyard's behavior is growing increasingly erratic, and honestly, it's like watching someone try to grip sand in the middle of a windstorm. Every desperate move only causes her power to slip further away. The latest blow to her shaky reign came from Illinois Attorney General Quanroe's office, which declared that Dalton violated the Open Meetings Act not once, but twice during their June and July meetings. Residents have long accused Henyard's administration of turning Village Hall into a high-security fortress, blocking entrances and limiting seating. The justification: Henyard's team claimed it was all in the name of security. And what prompted this extreme reaction? A single snarky letter sent to Henyard's mother's house. The letter, written in blue marker, called Henyard and her mom losers. Harsh, yes, but hardly a credible threat. Adding to the absurdity, this supposed evidence of danger didn't even surface until after two of the controversial meetings had already taken place. The Attorney General's office saw through the charade, labeling it a major overreaction without any valid justification. It seems Henyard is banking on drama to maintain her grasp on power, but her theatrics are starting to backfire. With fewer than 20 people attending this week's meeting, even her loyal supporters might be losing interest in this never-ending soap opera. Despite everything, Henyard continues to position herself at the center of the chaos, even if it means bending the rules or stirring up controversy. In a surprising twist, Henyard tried to reinvigorate her faltering support by appointing a new village administrator and attorney during this week's meeting. For context, the village administrator position previously belonged to her former right-hand man, Keith Freeman, the same Keith Freeman who once stood by her through thick and thin before their relationship soared. Henyard's latest move feels less like strategic planning and more like a desperate attempt to regain control. Unsurprisingly, the move didn't go over well. Trustee Jason House has already declared the appointments invalid, stating that the new hires won't be receiving any paychecks. He dismissed Henyard's actions as yet another hollow power play, calling the appointments meaningless. But true to form, Henyard didn't back down. During the meeting, she doubled down, defending her decisions in front of an increasingly skeptical audience. With her power slipping away, these last-ditch efforts may signal that her game is about to fold. Just pay attention to who brings all the drama to your common. That's how you know everybody are plants in the audience. It seems the tension within Dalton's leadership has reached new heights. Former village trustee Valeria Stubbs didn't hold back when weighing in on the recent chaos. She can't appoint anyone because Keith Freeman is still the village administrator, Stubbs said, adding all of that was illegal. Once she didn't have a quorum, the meeting should have been adjourned. Henyard's inner circle is shrinking by the day, and Keith Freeman is at the center of the fallout. Word on the street is that Henyard tried to cast Freeman aside the moment she suspected he might be cooperating with the FBI against her. Talk about a dramatic falling out. Freeman's record is far from spotless. He's faced multiple lawsuits for allegedly retaliating against employees who claimed they were fired for not supporting Henyard. And in April, he was charged with bankruptcy fraud for allegedly hiding assets and income in his bankruptcy filings, according to a federal indictment. Despite Freeman's years of loyalty and getting his hands dirty to support Henyard's agenda, she turned on him when the heat got too intense. The township's Human Resources Department even issued an email notifying Henyard of Freeman's termination, stating, "Due to the high-ranking position that you hold within the township, this type of misconduct cannot be tolerated. Your misconduct is a detriment to the smooth functioning of the township's operations." Freeman's troubles escalated as rumors swirled about his cooperation with federal investigators, coinciding with mounting legal woes, including the bankruptcy fraud charge. One would think Henyard might come to his aid after their long-standing alliance, but instead, she quickly distanced herself, attempting to sever ties before their association caused her further damage. However, Henyard's attempts to oust Freeman from his township role didn't go as planned. Trustee Chris Gonzalez pointed out that the board hadn't even been officially informed of Freeman's firing. "A promotion, if that's what it would be, and I hadn't seen anything," Gonzalez remarked, emphasizing the lack of proper procedure. Meanwhile, Trustee Jason House suggested there's now an unmistakable split between Freeman and Henyard. Despite Henyard's efforts to sideline Freeman, he remains the village administrator, a position he has managed to hold on to, at least for now. Ironically, Freeman seems to have fared better than the many former employees terminated under Henyard's leadership, several of whom have since filed lawsuits against her administration. As the lawsuits pile up and Henyard's inner circle fractures, it's becoming clear that her grip on power is slipping, with the chaos around her showing no signs of slowing down.
These are from former employees, right?
That's correct. We spoke with one of the plaintiffs who says that she was fired for not being a yes man, for not following the mayor's.
Rumors are swirling that Keith Freeman has been cooperating with federal authorities, and that he may have real-time evidence of Tiffany Henyard's alleged corruption. Word has it that Freeman struck a deal with the feds, which might explain why Henyard was so quick to distance herself from him. Dropping him like a hot potato seemed to be her way of cutting ties before the fallout reached her. However, with the Board of Trustees currently backing Freeman, Henyard's plans to oust him appear to be on hold, for now. But this situation is far from over, especially given her recent appointment stunt during a meeting where she tried to bypass the board entirely. Speaking of meetings, this isn't the first time Henyard has tried to run the show on her own terms. When she called a town meeting recently, not a single member of the Board of Trustees showed up. Her tendency to push forward regardless of quorum or protocol seems to be a recurring theme.
Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard wanted the Board of Trustees to approve some events that she wants the township to pay for, but none of the trustees showed up for this special meeting tonight.
Tiffany Henyard's resilience knows no bounds, even as she navigates scandal after scandal. At a recent meeting, faced with a no-show from the Board of Trustees, Henyard seized the stage with her signature bravado. Turning the situation into her own soap opera, she claimed the allegations of corruption against her were nothing more than a propaganda stunt aimed at tarnishing her glorious leadership. "This is me making my statement," Henyard declared. "If you don't want to hear it, there's the door." This is not a Q&A. Her bold remarks didn't sit well with attendees. One resident interrupted. "The residents already know you're stealing from them." Yet, unshaken, Henyard pressed on, blaming the criticism on jealousy, saying, "Your super mayor became too powerful too quick. I'm rare, I'm unique. That's why everybody has a problem." But Henyard's troubles extend far beyond public relations. Investigative reports from WGN recently exposed her extravagant spending habits. In just 5 months, Henyard and her entourage racked up a staggering $67,000 in travel expenses on Thornton Township's tab, with the total ballooning to over $100,000 when Dalton funds were included. Henyard justified the costs as necessary for attending conferences, though critics argue she was merely living out diva fantasies on taxpayer money. Amid the turmoil, Henyard made headlines again with her controversial attempt to appoint a criminal attorney under the guise of addressing township business. Rumors suggest this move is a calculated effort to protect herself, with the village footing the bill for the attorney's fees. The legality of the appointment has been questioned, especially given the departure of the previous legal representative over non-payment issues. Henyard's administration has been marred by lawsuits, firings, and accusations of favoritism. Dwayne Thrashed, a former maintenance manager, claims he was wrongfully terminated after refusing to participate in a scheme to replace the school board's attorney with someone aligned with Henyard. Thrash, fired while on an approved vacation, is now demanding compensation and alleging constitutional violations. It doesn't stop there. Even Henyard's allies are turning against her. Thornton Township trustee Carmen Carlisle, once thought to be in Henyard's corner, broke her silence, accusing the mayor of unethical and manipulative behavior. For 2 years, Henyard has used her position to boost her influence while projecting a false image of success, all funded by hardworking taxpayers, Carlisle said. She admitted to initially staying silent, but could no longer ignore what she described as predatory behavior. Carlisle's betrayal comes at a time when Henyard is already drowning in fraud accusations, legal challenges, and public outrage over her spending. Residents have called out the alleged misuse of township resources and criticized Henyard's use of township police to intimidate dissenters. Despite the mounting backlash, Henyard remains defiant, determined to hold on to power even as her administration crumbles. It's clear that Henyard's tenure as mayor and township supervisor is increasingly defined by controversy, legal battles, and growing public distrust. Whether she can weather this storm remains to be seen, but for now, her supermayor persona is looking more fragile than ever. This train wreck is ever so close to being indicted. It's mind-boggling that she can fool herself to live in the alternate universe she created. Arrest can't come soon enough. I feel for the residents of Dolton. Another commenter added, I can only hope she gets removed from office, then arrested, then sent to prison. I pray she loses all these lawsuits against her and is personally held financially responsible for the punitive damages, court costs, and attorney fees. As expected, Henyard didn't take the betrayal lightly. True to form, she fired back at her once loyal trustee, throwing out a new nickname and pointing fingers at everyone else for the chaos. It was classic Henyard. Deflect, distract, and double down on the drama. I think I'm going to get you a new nickname, Lion. Carlisle, I told everyone in here, there's always got to be a show. At the end of the day, Henyard tried to shift the narrative, saying, Asterisk, you were on this board. We never talked about this, right? So you should be putting the same energy in play when you weren't saying a word a year ago and some months ago. Asterisk, did you catch that? Henyard may have indirectly admitted to foul play. Her insinuation is significant because she's been notoriously tight-lipped about the allegations, even refusing to speak with the media unless her lawyer was present. Once Henyard shifted gears and started blaming Carmen for not doing her job properly, Carmen didn't hold back. She pulled back the curtain on Henyard's behavior, saying, Asterisk, the reason I didn't ask questions was because I trusted the administration. I trusted the process. The moment I didn't trust the process, I started asking questions. I worked as your assistant. I saw a lot. I heard a lot. The first time I really questioned supporting you was when you went on a national platform and said you didn't know anything about a foundation. But you forget that I was in certain rooms when certain things happened. You were not honest about that foundation. You came to my house after that, unannounced, and tried to get me to say somebody else started that foundation. That didn't happen. The cracks in Henyard's leadership were already visible, but Carmen's statement reinforced the widespread rumors of Henyard's incompetence. Instead of addressing the real problems, Henyard resorted to shaming the media for writing negative stories about her. In her words, I would appreciate it if people stopped writing negative stuff about the township and wrote all the good that we do here. Write the truth, not the mess and gossip. That's kid stuff. God doesn't make mistakes. He put the right person in this position, someone who is going to do the work, take the lashes, and keep coming back stronger. Go check my numbers, and you'll see what I'm really doing, despite what's being falsely written. Henyard has been riding high ever since she assumed her position, but with the way things are unraveling, it seems her time as a free bird might be running out. And that's it for today. See you in the next one. Goodbye.